Turn him off.
I can't.
Jane, let's step outside.
You get out of here! You're obsolete!
That thing is a killer.
It's not even armed. It's harmless.
It's a killer, and I saw it. Get out of this. No.
No! No!
Behave yourselves.
I think it's time to do a Christmas haul video.
Mattel Electronics presents B-17 Bomb.
So I know I'm a little bit late when it comes to these kind of videos, mostly because I tried waiting for all of my gifts to actually come in the mail, but as of when I'm filming this, it's January 7th, and I don't really think it's going to be here in a reasonable amount of time for this to be any more relevant. I mean, I'm already kind of going on a thin line here of relevance, but this is my holiday gift getting 2007, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So, going through some of the stuff that I got for Christmas, and figured where do I want to start? Start small and we'll work our way up. First off, I received a gift card here to Wendy's. It's a $5 gift card, so I guess I can go and further get even fatter. That's what we'll do. So I'm actually kind of thankful for that, because Wendy's over the years has gotten a lot more expensive, and they've taken away their biggie size. So it's kind of like, yeah, do they really want to go and eat there anymore? Is it really worth the price? So this is this right here is my old wallet. Let me get a close-up on that. This is what it looks like. I mean, there was one day where I had asked my brother where the stapler was, because I wanted to staple this thing back together. And so, taking that little hint, they went on ahead and they got me a brand new wallet, leather. So, it's pretty good. I despise the fact that it is a trifold. Those trifolds are the mark of a wuss. So if you're a real man, you only need 2 folds. Okay, now actually, we just got a few more of what I like to call the essential gifts, which are the kind of stuff that when you're a kid, you're not really thankful to get these, but when you get a lot older, you are definitely a lot more thankful. I got a nice pair of moccasin house shoes, which, residing in Florida, I'm not sure if I'm going to need to use these that often. There's not much tile in my place, so my feet don't normally get cold, but when they do, I've got moccasins. And they still have that new smell, that new Native American suffrage smell. And brother also got me a giant bag of socks. You know, for sizes 12 to 15, because my size 13 feet, they require socks. Now on to the good stuff. Where do I want to start with this? I guess I'll start with the gift that my friend Pat got for me. A little bit recently. He was a little bit late getting the gift, but I'm a very patient person, so the box for this is it's a Mini Pro EX wired cable from PowerA. It's a 360 controller. It's a knockoff brand of it, and this thing actually, I don't need a new 360 controller. This thing serves a different purpose. Come to find out that this is actually a fantastic controller for PC gaming, for emulators and things like that. So now I can really get into recording games off of emulators, doing Let's Plays of that. And granted, there are probably people out there that are like, you should buy the game. The thing is, I already own the games. It's just I don't have any way of capturing them. So this is a little handy, nice little controller. Let me actually plug this into my laptop where I'm recording this, and I'll show you another little special gimmick on it. It actually lights up. You can't really see it too well because it's very bright coming in here. But yeah, lights up. The bumpers light up. The standard buttons do. So it's a pretty nifty controller. And now I can start playing stuff on my N64 emulator and start getting that captured and put up on the internet. So, for game-wise, these are kind of gifts to myself, these last few. One of them I really wouldn't consider much of a gift, but I'll explain that when we get to it. I picked up Mass Effect 2 on the PlayStation 3, mostly because I had purchased the PlayStation 3 version of it through PSN, of Mass Effect 1, that is. And I was playing through that, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'll go on ahead and I'll play through the PS3 versions to find out, you know, what have they changed, especially with the first one. They definitely went through and attempted to make the game better, and it didn't really work out too well. In fact, it's a lot worse than the 360 version, especially with load times. When it takes you 30 seconds to save on the PS3 version and maybe less than 5 to do it on the 360, you have a problem. But the main reason for picking up Mass Effect 2 on the PS3 is, A, it was a good deal. $11 for the game and 3 pieces of DLC, 3 of the major releases, and it comes with the Firewalker pack and the Zaid character. And it was just a great deal for $11. I mean, I couldn't really pass that up. The only thing it's missing is Arrival, which wasn't out at the time of release. But, you know, going back and playing through Mass Effect 2 and the fact that I recently finished the Let's Play of Mass Effect 1, and I'm not very far into Mass Effect 2's LP, recording that, this was a nice little refresher to get reacclimated with the game. Supposedly it runs on an early build of Mass Effect 3's engine, and the only thing I've noticed is that there are some different death animations for some characters. Other than that, the game still plays the same backward style that I completely despise. This was the Mass Effect game that introduced thermal clips, one of the worst things I think to happen to the franchise besides the ending of the trilogy. But overall, the characters are well written, and that's what makes me come back to this game a lot. Now, this next one is going to be a little bit confusing as to why I purchased this. Number one, it was cheap. I picked it up for $9, brand new. But Final Fantasy 13-2. The reason why I'm playing this is because, A, I recently picked up Final Fantasy 13 on the PS3, and you're probably also wondering why I did that. Eventually, I will go through on this channel and do, I guess, little tiny mini reviews of the Final Fantasy franchise, and this is pretty much essential to own when you get into talking about the shit tier games of the franchise. So that's why I have this, and for $9, it's a game that plays okay. It's just everything else about it is bad. The characters, the story, the settings, the music. So overall, yeah, it is a pretty bad game. So that's the end of that. And some people may or may not know about this one yet, but this was a Christmas gift that I had bought for myself way before the start of the month of December. And I just like to throw this back out, but the Bond 50 Blu-ray set, which is a very, very beautiful set, and I think I've pretty much watched just about every single movie in this book. You know, you go through, and it's in that 20th Century Fox Blu-ray book packaging, so it's some pretty sweet stuff. Getting into the Roger Moore era. Yeah, look at that white safari suit. Yeah, like to own one of those. So, yeah, it's a pretty nifty Blu-ray set. Normally goes for $200. I picked it up for $110 at Best Buy. So, and luckily they price matched an error on their site, therefore getting me a good deal on this package. So, the other gift that has not arrived yet was a DVD set, and that is a DVD set of Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule, Seasons 1 and 2. And talking about that, it is one of my favorite shows on Adult Swim. I'm not really that big of a fan of Tim and Eric. Awesome show, great job. I think that the show has its moments. But overall, I think the character of Steve Brule is it's better written than any of the Tim and Eric sketches. And I don't know what it is. It's one of those things where when you look at it, you either love it or you hate it. And every time that I watch one of those episodes, I can't stop laughing. It's just that good of a show. Whether it's the slurred speech, the stupid little exposés that Dr. Steve Brule does on various things. Like there's an episode where he goes to a casino and he tries to play blackjack, and he's there at the table, and the very first thing that he does is that he goes all in, and when he receives his cards, he gets a 14, but he has a jack of spades. He holds it up and he's proclaiming blackjack. He's got a blackjack, and the dealer's telling him, no, you don't. And he's starting to get pissed off to the point where he takes the other players' chips. He's like, let's just put all our chips together. And then the bodyguards come up and rough him up a little bit. So it's one of those shows where, even though my piss poor description of the scene was probably turning people off from watching this, I advise looking some of the clips up on YouTube, preferably the casino scene, some of the stuff where he's supposedly talking to his mother is pretty good too. So overall, I had a very, very good holiday season. A lot more stuff coming on the way. I mean, January, we've got the new Devil May Cry. We've got a Hitman trilogy coming out. And then even February and March, we have a lot of good stuff coming out. So be looking forward to that. I'm going to make sure I have money to get these games first. So with all that being said, this allows me to get a lot more footage captured for a lot of older games. Playing Super Mario Land on with this thing was a blast. Playing GoldenEye with this thing was a blast. Oh god, what else have I tried out? I've tried out a 007 game, which I'm not going to name right now because I think that's a Let's Play that's coming up very soon. But for now, I have to finish Hitman Absolution with Daniel. So after all of this, I have nothing else. I know this is like one of the worst videos I have ever done, mostly because I am tired. I have been up all night editing videos. So with that being said, I hope you guys had an awesome holiday season. And yeah, go. I got a movie to finish. Did you not watch the intro? So I'm going to go finish that. And yeah, I'll bring you guys more videos very soon. Take care. Oh, best movie ever.